Happy Monday, 6th graders. This is Mrs. Collins coming at you with her very first math video for you to get a little math lesson while I'm at my super fun meeting. So make sure you have this sheet in front of you. 3rd and 7th hour, you have this sheet already in your possession. If you were here on Friday, the other math classes, make sure you have this from your substitute. Make sure you put your name and hour at the top. This lesson, we're now taking the knowledge we have gained from our percent proportion, where we have part over whole equals percent over 100. The key word for part is. The key word for whole is of. And we're going to take this proportion that we know, and now we're going to apply it to word problems. So we're going to have to read the word problems very carefully. We're going to have to identify what they give us in the problem that's going to help us solve it. So we have to identify the percent if they give us one. We have to identify the part and the whole and kind of figure out what information we need to answer the question that's being asked. So I highly suggest that you mark up your questions as we go along. That just makes certain information stand out and helps the problem be easier to set up. So here we go. A student earned a grade of 70%. Oh, there's a percent, so I'm going to circle that. Earned a grade of 70% on a math test that had 10 problems. So this test had 10 problems total on the test. So this kind of sounds like the whole of my proportion. How many, I'm going to underline my question, how many problems on this test did the student answer correctly? So how many problems did they answer correctly on the test if they got a 70% and there were 10 problems? So I'm going to set up my proportion base like this. So here I'm given a percent. So I know that percents always go over 100, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. 70 over 100, that's 70%. It says there were 10 problems on the entire test, or the whole test. So whole is going to go on the bottom, so I'm going to put my 10 right here, 10 problems. And then my variable will go here. This is going to be how many I got right out of 10 to give me a 70. Now, some of you might be able to do that in your head just fine and quick, and that's perfect. We're working on setting up these proportions correctly and then solving them. So you'd have x over 10 equals 70 over 100. You'll do your bat and ball. So 70 times 10 is 700. 700 divided by 100. This person would have 7 correct answers out of 10. 7 correct answers out of 10 would be the answer to this question. Okay, moving on. There were 36 students signed up for a field trip. That kind of sounds like 36 is the whole, like the entire group. So that sounds like it's the whole. On the day of the field trip, only 29 students were present. So that sounds like it's 29. This 29 is part of this 36 that signed up. So this sounds like the part. What percent, oh, I don't know it, that's what I got to find out. What percent of the students showed up for the trip? So I'm going to set up my proportion like this. 36 kind of sounds like how many total kids signed up. So 36 is the whole. 29 is the part. That's how many out of 36 showed up. What percent? I don't know. That's what I have to figure out. So it's going to be x over 100. You do your 29 times 100 divided by 36. So it's going to be 2,900 divided by 36. So you get your handy dandy little calculator. 2,900 divided by 36. You get this number right here, which we're going to say it's asking for the percent. So we can say 80.5 repeating percent, or you could say that's approximately equal to 81% of the kids showed up for the trip that we're supposed to. Either way is fine. Number 3, Lorena put $450 into her savings account for a year. So this kind of sounds like a total amount of money she put in there. So I'm thinking this might be the whole in my problem. The rate of interest on the account was 6.5%. So interest is something that when you put money in a savings account, or sometimes checking accounts are an interest, it's kind of money you're making from the bank for letting them use your money to loan people that come into the bank to borrow money. So this interest on a savings account or a checking account is a good thing. How much was the interest? How much interest did she earn for a year if she earned 6.5% interest on this much money? So it's kind of looking like she put $450 in, so that's the whole. It looks like she's making 6.5% interest. So 6.5 over 100, that's my percent. And I'm going to find out how much money she made in a year if she's earning 6.5% on her money. So cross multiply. You're going to take $450 times 6.5% is $2,925 divided by 100. Looks like she's going to make $29.25. $29.25 is earned in interest. Okay, not too shabby. Free money. Number 4. A student answered 46 problems on a test correctly, which means there's probably some that were incorrect. So this kind of sounds like it might be the part. 46 problems correctly and received a grade of 88%. How many total problems were on the test if all the problems were worth the same number of points? So this sort of sounds like 46 problems were answered correctly, so that's the part. She got an 88, or he got an 88, so that's 88%, 88 over 100. And then I'm finding how many problems were on the test, the whole, I'm finding that. So you're going to take your 46 times 100 equals 4,600 divided by 88. We'll round that to a nice 52. There were 52 questions on the test. Boy, wouldn't you love it if I gave you a test with 52 questions? That'd be fun. You'd love me. Okay, so 52 questions on the test. Cross multiply, divide. 5. David bought a car for 65% of the original price. The original price of $8,500. $8,500. So this car is $8,500 normal price. He's going to pay 65% of this. So what did he pay for the car? All right, well, let's take a look here. 65% is what he paid of this. So 65 over 100 of 8,500, so that's the original price of the car, over X. Please make sure you're writing all this down as you go, so you have this as a reference for when you work these problems on the back. So you've got your nice proportions set up. You're going to take 8,500 times 65 divided by 100. Looks like he's paying $5,525 for that car. $5,525. I'm going to do it again just to check my math. So, because I can, it's always good just to do things twice, just to see. So, 8,500 times 65 is that, divided by 100. $5,525 for the car. That's a steal of a deal. All right, number 6. Pamela bought a new jacket on sale for 30% off the original price. So they're taking the original price of an item, like when you go into the store, and if you go into the store, say you go into Dick's Sporting Goods, you buy a jacket, and it's priced at, its normal price is $50, and there's no sale, no percentage off. So you're going to pay $50 for this coat. You're paying 100%. So if you pay regular price for something, you're paying 100% of its value, of its cost. So if you get a sale, so here it's 30% off. So there's a sale, and you're getting 30% off of this 100%. So what percent of the original price are you going to be paying then? Well, 100% minus my 30% off, you're going to be paying 70%. You're paying 70% of the original price. So you're only paying 70%, not 30%. Alrighty, so 30% off of the original price, which means Pamela's paying 70% of the original price. If she paid $32 for this sweater, Pamela bought her new jacket on sale for 30% off the original price. She paid $32 for a sweater. I think this means jacket. Okay, what was the original price? Alrighty, so I'm going to set up my proportion. $32 is only part of the original price. So that's going to go on top. $32 is the sale price. She's paying 70%. So I'm going to go 70 over 100, 70%. I'm going to find out what the original price of the jacket was. So 32 times 100, 32 times 100, 3,200, divided by 70. So it looks like the original price of that sweater was, I'm going to go to the nearest cent, so that would be $45.71. $45.71 was the original price. So make sure you're writing your answers kind of in a sentence here so we know what we're talking about. $45.71 was the original price. All right, so you're going to be using these as a reference for ones you're going to do on the back. So your task for tomorrow is to complete the back of this, marking up your questions, finding the information you need, setting up your proportion, and writing your answer in a nice little kind of sentence format. A couple of these say like 8, 9, 10, and 11, these guys here. They say you're required to do, there's 2 different things you need to do to get your answer. So let's take a look at one of them just so you kind of have a reference. If you don't want, you can look back later. If you want to try these on your own and then refer back to this, you can do that also. So let's take a look at number 9. It says at a bake sale, students sold 145 chocolate chip cookies, 95 oatmeal cookies, and 87 sugar cookies. What is the percent of the cookies sold? What is the percent of cookies sold that were oatmeal cookies? So what percent of the total cookies were oatmeal? So the first step is probably going to be, I need to figure out the total amount of cookies. So I'm going to have to add 145 chocolate chip plus 95 oatmeal plus 87 sugar cookies. So here we go, 145 plus 95 plus 87. You have 327 total cookies. So that sounds like my whole, 327 cookies. And 95 of them are oatmeal. So 95, part whole. Total cookies, 95 of them are oatmeal. Equals, it's asking what percent that is, x over 100. Beautiful. So you're going to take 95 times 100 divided by 327. So 9,500 divided by 327. It kind of looks like we're going to round that to the nearest percent. So 29%. 29% of the cookies were oatmeal. Yum. Alrighty, you're going to work with your table mates, or you may work on your own if you would like. Your task for tomorrow is to complete these right here, nice and neat, showing your proportion, showing your answer. When you're through, if you finish this, please put it in the turn-in tray. There are Buzz Math assignments on Buzz Math for you to work on until the bell rings. Whatever is not done is homework for tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed my first video recording. Have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow.